He repeated the word with some relish, peering over his spectacles approvingly. "What did he do, Mr. Cramplock? Did he murder someone?" I asked eagerly. I was hoping fervently that he had, until it occurred to me I probably shouldn't be hoping such things. "I don't know, Mog. Best not to take a chance, though, eh?" "Is very dangerous," I read again before laying the poster aside. As I placed it on the table, the paper bent slightly in the middle, so the convict seemed to be leaning forward deliberately to menace me with his broad, clenched face. His eyes, although quite small, like unwelcome little black blemishes on the paper, were by far the most prominent feature of his face, and they held me with a vicious stare. I'd never forget this face, I told myself, nor that name etched in heavy letters by chunks of black iron pushed into the coarse white paper. "Cock," I said slowly, "burn." And the eyes of the escaped convict flashed as if in recognition of his name, as if there were indeed something burning behind them, a kind of sinister flame. Almost expecting to see him creeping up on us from behind, I looked around the shop nervously. "You don't suppose he's hiding near here, do you, Mr. Cramplock?" Cramplock laughed shortly. "If he's got any sense, he'll have fled a lot further off than this." He turned away, tugging at the grubby collar of his shirt to let some cool air inside. It was the hottest week of the year so far. In fact, we were having the hottest weather I could remember in my entire life, and working the presses was hard and sticky work, so that our shirts were damp and both our faces glistened with sweat as we worked. Cramplock rubbed his cheekbone just beneath the rim of his glasses with an inky finger, a habit he'd had for as long as I'd known him. He always had a smear of printer's ink on his cheek, like a bruise, and today, when he rubbed his face, his finger came away wet. "Phew! It's hot work again today," he said, breathing heavily. "Only May, and look at it. If it keeps this up, we're in for quite a summer, even though we've got winter inside, eh?" It was a joke. He used to make it quite frequently, in one form or another. My name, you see, is Winter. Mog Winter. People sometimes said it was a peculiar name to have, but it's always suited me fine. Sometimes in the print shop, when there was nothing else to do, I used to make up a form with just my name in and print my name on old scraps of paper. Sometimes I used 3 big capitals, sometimes a capital and 2 lower cases, and sometimes I'd bring out the fancy type which made the letters look as though they were written with a quill pen rather than printed. I used to stare at my name on the paper for ages. After a while, it didn't seem like my name at all. It was as though I'd never seen it before, the letters just meaningless marks which didn't spell anything. I had quite a collection of these various Mogs by now. Cramplock probably wouldn't have been very pleased if he found out I was using up paper like this, but I somehow couldn't bring myself to throw them away. I wasn't going to have time for such idle pursuits tonight, because I knew that before I went to bed I had to make 100 copies of the Cockburn poster. I was about to ink up again when Cramplock came over. "Before you do that, Smog, how about fetching us something to eat from the Doll's Head?" I nodded, relieved because my stomach was beginning to rumble like an old cart. It was nearly 6 o'clock and the shop was closed to customers, but he'd wanted to keep going until we'd finished these posters and something else he was preparing for a man in the theatre. The theatre bills were his favourite job. He used to lavish hours of painstaking attention on their different-shaped letters and coloured inks, making them seem as cramped and exciting as the theatre itself. "From Brighton, the celebrated Mr. Symington. Flying through the air without visible means of support, the Sunder Clouds."